Hi friends, I'm Sean, the Modern Yeoman, and behind me you might notice a large black package sitting on my doorstep. That package is actually a 70-pound silage tarp, and you know, it's funny. A year ago I had no idea what a silage tarp even was, but now, 4 months into our homesteading journey, I not only know what a silage tarp is, but I'm very excited to begin using it. Now, if you don't know what a silage tarp is, I'd invite you to stay tuned for our next episode where we'll roll it out for you, both figuratively and literally. Here's a hint, it has to do with gardening. And I'll tell you what, even though it's January, the prospect of spring looms very large in our minds. I've been building more raised beds, I've been tracking the patterns of the sun, I've even been staying up way past my bedtime browsing online seed catalogs. But that's not why we're here today. Today we're here because I had a chat with the chickens, and well, let's just say I don't think they're very happy with me. Although it may look sunny now, I can guarantee you that this brief window of clement weather is actually a fluke. In reality, the past few weeks have just been a soggy mess. We've had so much rain and even snow. You might remember a few episodes ago where the chickens got stuck in their coop because their door was iced shut. Something that I've learned about chickens is that unlike their cousin in the poultry world, the duck, they're not big fans of moisture. They like the dirt that they scratch to be dry. So it's been really sad to see them on all these rainy days just sit inside their coop for the entire day. Sometimes they'll leave to get food and water, but then they'll just go right back up in their coop. I don't like to see it. So I was just kind of resigned to this until I remembered a comment, well, several comments that you folks had left behind a few videos ago, where you said essentially, instead of keeping the chickens out in the open during the winter, why not put them in the south, under the south lean-to of the barn? They'll still be outside, they'll still have access to grass, yet they'll have a shelter of sorts, they'll have a roof over their head. So thinking back on it, I was like, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So there's three things that I need to do for this project. The first is measure the circumference of the area so that I know that the fence will fit. The second thing is to clear out these branches and brambles over here so I can actually run the fence around. And the third thing is to actually move the chickens, which is a bit more complicated than you might think it is. So the first step here, measuring the circumference, is going to be really easy. The Chickens Premier 1 electric fence is 164 feet long, so I just need to make sure that I can cover that distance while treating this wall right here as the fourth side. All told, I'm looking at about 100 feet here, which gives me plenty of room to stretch the fence out and give the chickens access to more grass. I reckon the next step will be the most enjoyable. And while I do need to cut a lot of these branches down, I don't need to go overboard. I just need to give myself enough room so that the fence can clear it, about 4 feet off the ground. Well, it looks like I've cleared a pretty nice spot for the fence here, a nice lane. But now I get to the toughest part, which is actually moving the chickens. And the reason that's tough is because from everything that I've read, you should never move a chicken's mobile coop when they're outside of the coop. You should only move it when they're inside of the coop. Like a lot of birds, they're homing creatures, and so if you move their coop while they're out and about, they'll be confused about where they should go back to. So right now it looks like all of the chickens are inside the coop except for Fighter. So I'm gonna have to wait till he goes inside, and then I'll sneak up, shut the door, move their coop, and then move the fence. Well, folks, as you can see, the chickens are now in place in their new digs, their new territory. I gotta say, it got a little bit hairy there for a moment. Long story short, after waiting for about 20 minutes for Fighter to join his lady friends in the coop here, when he wasn't doing that, I finally decided to just shut them in and move them out without him, hoping that he would follow. Well, he didn't follow, he went off on his own, and so I had to let the chickens out early to attract him back before I put the fence in its new spot. And then they got out, so I had to corral them with a ladder. But after a lot of back and forth, I was able to get them in place and put the ladder up. As you can see in this time lapse, it took me quite a while to get it in place, but I think I finally did it. And so here I am. Thanks to the wisdom in your guys' comments, I was able to move the chickens to a new place where I think they'll have some nice shelter for the winter. So first off, I just want to thank you guys for helping me to come up with this solution. If it wasn't for your thinking, I don't know if I would have ever had the foresight to put them under here. Second of all, I think the chickens like me a little bit more, and I hope that their complaint department won't be as active against me as it was, and that they'll enjoy their new space here. I think it's really nice. It is a little bit close to my parents' house. I'm worried that Fighter might make a little bit too much noise in the morning next to my folks' bedroom, but we'll see about that. If I need to move the fence out a little bit again, I can do that. Anyways, until next time, thank you for all your help, and I appreciate your guys' comments and your wisdom.